Good morning. This is September 21st, E3 Weekly Market Report. Exports have just come out. We're going to go straight to the cotton exports. Looks like a good number at 219,900 running bales for 2017. 2018 up noticeably from the previous week and up 28% from the 4-week average. We've got Turkey taking 91,300, Vietnam taking 46,100, China taking 18,500. New crop sales of 37,100. 22,000 of that goes to China. Actual shipments of 175,700. The cotton market was, before this came out, cotton was down 15. Right now it's up 11 at 69.36 in December cotton. Going to soybeans. Very large sale, 2,338,100 metric tons. China took 1,403,200 metric tons. Mexico took 213,100 metric tons. Taiwan took 68,200 metric tons. Soybeans just before the report were down 5.5. Right now they're down 5, so they firmed up slightly. Corn, net sales of 526,900 metric tons. Mexico took 264,100 metric tons. Japan took 111,600 metric tons. Colombia took 73,000 metric tons. Corn was down 1/4 cent before the report. Right now it is unchanged on the day in December at 350 for December corn. Wheat, 307,200 metric tons. That is down 3% from the previous week and down 24% under the 4-week average. The Philippines took 77,900 metric tons. Mexico took 54,800 metric tons. And Kenya took 41,100 metric tons. The wheat market before the report was down a penny. Right now it's 3/4 cent. So the only real reaction has been in the cotton, where it's firmed off up off of this higher than expected number. Let's look at some of the recent information here in news in the market. Cotton market in December saw a high on September the 8th of 75.75. Then we had the crop report that came out. It was a much bigger crop than anyone anticipated. Then the market sold off and made a low September the 13th at 68.31, or a drop of 744 points. Why the sell-off? Well, it was the crop report more than anything else. There was also commercial selling at those high levels. We'd gone through the nervousness of 2 hurricanes, and the final one coming up through Florida into Georgia did not do the damage that at one point people had feared. And once that was out of the way and the crop report followed it, it was, the market could not hold up. What now? Over the next, say, few weeks, the next month, the market probably will stay in a sideways trading range. And it could be anywhere from 66 to 70. It might even get into the low 70s, but the market's probably not going to really be able to break out much outside of that range. Now, after that, we'll look at the crop at that point. If the crop has continued to finish out well, it's a large crop. We get another crop report coming out next month in 3 weeks that supports this large crop. Then we'll probably start a new sell-off that could take us into the low 60s. Then now let's look at soybeans, corn, and wheat. We've seen yesterday, we knew there was a very big export sale that took place. The largest probably is described as massive. The largest maybe in history, or certainly one of them for soybeans. So that was a factor in the market. As far as the downward pressure goes on the market, it comes from the seasonals and the fact that we're just now getting into harvest, and that normally puts downward pressure on the market. South America has been dry. That's delayed planting down there. And as I mentioned, seasonal lows usually come in around the first part of October, and it's been a pretty regular pattern for the market. What to expect? November soybeans right now that are trading at 965 could sell off and get as low as 940. December corn, that is right now trading at 350, could drop into the 340 level. December wheat that's right now trading in the 448.5 level could make it as low as 425. Again, the main pressure is harvest. As you move further into harvest, and we're just getting into it now, it typically produces pressure, downward pressure on the market. And once that's out of the way, we have a tendency to make the bottom and start a move up that could last through the winter into the spring. So that's it. One last look at where we're trading. We've got December cotton up 13 at 69.38. That's firming up about 28 points from where it was just before exports came out. The November soybeans have actually sold off a half cent. They're down 6 right now at 9.64 even, and that's about a half cent lower than it was before this very good export number came out. Corn is unchanged from where it was, down a quarter in December at 3.49 3/4, and wheat's down a penny and a quarter, about a quarter of a cent lower from where it was right at 7:30 at 448.5. That's it. Have a good day. Thanks for joining us for this edition of the E3 Weekly Market Report.